What's up, guys? John from Pimplot.com here today in another On the Farm video. Today I'm braving my boots, risking my boots' life to walk in this muddy garden. We've gotten about 2.5 inches of rain in the past couple days here, and there's actually quite a bit of rain on the way yet today. It just won't stop. It just can't stop or something. I don't know. So I'll cut to some pictures of the corn and the potatoes and stuff. We must have gotten some wind this morning. There was a pretty good thunderstorm that came through. So we had that stupid tropical storm Bill that came through and left us quite a bit of rain. It's so wet that just there's water standing everywhere. Garden, road ditches. Maybe tonight when I go home I'll try to get some pictures of those. The road ditches and stuff for you guys. It's pretty crazy right now though. So you guys, I'm out here in the oats. We finally have gotten 99% of them to finally die. As you can hear, Dad's over there doing some sandblasting. You guys will see some of that. And so 99% of these suckers have finally died. So we should actually have pumpkins in the ground right now, but with this rain, we've literally had 2 weeks of rain almost non-stop, and it's like multiple inches of rain. So with all the rain, we just finally planted some the other day in the little pots, you know. We start all of our pumpkins in town, and then we bring them down here and set them out. So we'll be setting them out soon. So they're not up yet, but we will be planting them as soon as they do come up. Normally we wait until they get their second and third leaf, but this year I think we're going to try to plant them right after they come up. We did that with our cantaloupe, and it seemed to work quite well. So you guys can see, like I said, the oats are about 99% dead behind me. So it's about time, right? Good times.
What's up, guys? John the voiceover guy here. Dad's working on the disc frame with the orbital sander right here. As you can see, we have the bottom painted. I actually had some footage of it, but I guess I turned the camera off before I stopped filming and it ate the footage. So yeah, it happens, right? Alright, so basically what we're going to do here is he's getting some of the worst spots off with the orbital sander before we take it outside to sandblast. A little blurry. A little better now. And so here we go, he's outside again. Obviously not going to sandblast in the shed. That just sounds like a mess. And this won't fit in our sandblast cabinet, obviously, because it's, you know, a disc frame. Even if we took it apart piece by piece, it still probably wouldn't fit because the pieces are more than 3 feet long or whatever. So, yep, outside with the sandblaster, it works quite well. We're not really going for 100% bare metal. We're going just to get it nice and smooth and get off the worst. And really, that's all primer you're seeing anyway. So if we got it down to, you know, the rough spots you can see here, if we just kind of knock those off and, you know, just get rid of the rust, it'll be fine. So that's kind of what we're going for here. And Dad was at it quite a bit. We had to go get another 100 pounds of sand out of the grain bin. Yes, we keep our sand in the grain bin. Don't worry about it. So here it is after it's done, and yeah, it was quite a bit of sand. You can see the sand on the ground there and stuff, and there it is, all painted up. I didn't film any painting. That was about 2 cans of spray paint. We're gonna be doing all of it with spray cans, I think. I'm not sure what the final colors, what the final coat's gonna be, if Dad decided or not. Anyway, so here's some of the flooding around the yard. You can see there's just water everywhere and quite ominous looking clouds. Water standing next to the potatoes, and they're still blooming, by the way. They just won't quit. Now that sweet corn has taken some abuse, and really the potatoes have too. They're just kind of flat now with all this rain. They've kind of gone down. So yeah, the sweet corn has settled on with ears. It's had ears for a couple weeks now, I think, but yeah. And then the hollyhocks have taken also a bit of abuse with all the rain and wind, and you can see that sweet corn, you know, should be standing straight. The row, you should be able to see down, plant far enough apart to see. And so this is the second planting of sweet corn, and it's starting to go. So here's the third planting of sweet corn, and it was flat to the ground, some of it. I haven't been back to the farm this week, but Dad said the other night that it was standing up quite nicely again. So there's a cantaloupe plant. They get kind of rolled up with the wind, and So sometimes we'll go out there and unroll them and whatnot. Sweet potatoes are growing quite well. And as you guys can see everywhere in the garden, it's just full of weeds right now. There's so many weeds growing. This Sunday, hopefully it'll be dry enough we can get out there and really attack it and, you know, clean up the garden a little bit because it's pretty bad. So this is in town, kind of. None of that water is supposed to be there. Across the road, no, not supposed to be there. So, yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. We happened to see this when we came into town for lunch. Yeah, not supposed to be there. And it's there. Same thing with all this water. Usually by this time of year, none of that water's there. They actually can plant soybeans in about 90% of this ground right here. And obviously not going to happen this year. So the wheat with all this rain has turned real dark. And apparently in the past week they have actually combined it. I haven't been down there to see it. So now we're going to cut down to the river, the actual river. And just some of the pictures we grabbed the other night while we were down there. If you follow us on Instagram, you may have seen some of these. Go to instagram.com/poomplow. That's us. And it's just, yeah, it's kind of crazy how much water there actually was here. And like, you're supposed to be able to walk out onto that barge thing. I thought that was a person at first. I had to zoom in to make sure it was a buoy, not a person. They all laughed at me. Like, yeah, you're supposed to be able to walk out onto that. It's a barge out in the river. It's actually kind of neat. That's a fire hydrant. It's obviously just the top of it. And you can see the water kind of flowing there. It's pretty neat, actually, what was all going on. And, yeah. Just lots of water where it shouldn't be. So that red line right there is actually where the water level was in the flood of 1993. So you can see we're quite a bit lower, but it's still pretty high on the river right now. And you can see how fast the river is actually moving here. That river was rolling. And another fire hydrant at a different place. And then this is my favorite shot. You're supposed to be able to sit on those. So guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, and toodles.